Hi everybody, I'm back. This is a little crooked. Okay, so I finished the wreath, you know, the middle part and everything, and I started putting the leaves on. So this is where I'm at. I'm going to put a lot more leaves on this because, you know, I think it really needs it. And I chose a poly burlap color on this one because like I said, I don't like to make them all the same. So I've already put them in there, and, you know, so that's, you know, I want you to see my back. So, you know, how everything is nice and even, and, you know, I'm on the mesh, and then I did, you know, everything in the circle here. So we're good there. Everything looks pretty good. And now we're into the leaves. Okay. I want to break my glossy again. I was leaning on it. Okay. So in the end, this is what we're going to have. Okay. This is so pretty. It's just wonderful. I love this. Now I just scrunched it up, you know, like a regular petal. So, you know, and then, you know, I try and make this, you know, fairly small. So here we go. I'm going to show you how to do this petal. I'm just going to hang this up here so that it's out of my way. So my trusted screw on my wall takes care of all of that. We don't use those little pins anymore. There was something I wanted to mention. Oh, right. I don't know if I told you guys, you know, about Amazon, and I got my my order, and it's like $15.95 for like this mesh that was like paper. I could not believe it. So I'm still waiting for them to get back to me to do a return. Really? It's not. It worked out to like $184.50. They charged me $28 for shipping. I'm supposed to be a Prime member. I'm not supposed to be paying shipping. Good thing I caught that. Tell ya. And the race shop, well, you know, we're just clearing customs right now, and it's all good. I'm waiting for a call from Revenue Canada so I can have my customs number. So I'm using poly burlap, and again, you know, I'm doing the same thing. So I'm going to bring the camera down so you guys can see how to fold this. Okay. So what you do is you keep your edges on, you know, the same way. I really don't need the table here. I'm going to do it right on the ironing board. So you bring your corner down to the bottom, okay? Because in the end, your petal is going to look like this, okay? I tried the decoupage. The decoupage does fuse, but if your iron is just a little too hot, look what happened. It all like is crunched together. I just made a huge mess on it. You know, I tried to fuse the edges, but, you know, it wasn't working. I was getting, you know, all this, as soon as I got the iron down here, it's all just gathered together. This is like a lot thinner than poly burlap, but I did get a fuse down here, so it's not so bad. I mean, if you really wanted to use that, I'd say go ahead, but don't try and fuse this part. It's not going to work. It works, but I tell you, it's not your friend. So we use the edge, and you know, we bring it down to, you know, a triangle again, just like, you know, just like the sunflower. So, and now I'm being really careful here. I want to keep this tip here together, okay? Because this is the tip of my petal down here. So if you use like clothespins, then you know, you'll keep it all together. So I put one here, and then I turn this around. I want every little piece of mesh to be in that little corner here, okay? This is really an important step right here. Kind of just push it in all in there, and then you grab your pin, your clothespin or whatever you're using, and then you just clamp that down, okay? So now, this is the part that I'm fusing, okay? I take my parchment paper, all right? And I put this in here. And I try and use, you know, my crease. So again, in here, like when you bring it into the parchment paper, you'll notice that it comes apart. So your tip is the most important here, okay? So this is where I start with my iron. So I just kind of push it all together right here. And then I take my iron and usually use it on a little bit of an angle, okay? And I just put her down, and the way I go with it, I go across, and then I look, and I go, no, it's not fused yet. When it's fused, you're gonna see a dark color, okay? It's dark, and there you go. You're starting to see this dark color here, see? There we go. I'm not gonna go any further than that, because if I do, I'm gonna melt all the plastic. I still wanna see the mesh in it, okay? So I'm gonna turn it around, and I'm gonna go on the other side. And I'm gonna use the side of my iron, because I don't wanna make this too wide, okay? And then again, one more time over here. And I think that's probably sufficient. So there you go. Now you can see, don't touch this. This is very hot. This is plastic. What you're doing here is you're melting the plastic, okay? But as soon as you see that dark color, back off on your iron, because you're gonna melt everything. Everything's gonna change in there. Your mesh isn't gonna look the same. So it doesn't take too long to cool off. I wanna make sure that I've got a good fuse here. So I take these off, and then I kind of look inside and I go, oh yeah, well that looks pretty good. Except that, you know, right here could use a little bit more. So usually the tip of it, you know, is the thickest part. So you just go back and just give her another little tug with the iron there. And there we go. That's enough. There you go. See that dark part? And I can still see the mesh in there. If I go any further than this, I'm going to end up like this. Okay, see that dark part? But the petal's still okay, because it's really not going to show that much, okay? But, you know, I try and keep my edge very, very small. So now, that's actually pretty cool. Comes out, and there you go. Now you've got your fused petal. Pretty cool, right? Now, I do another step on this. Because we have the edges that are, you know, inside that are frayed, they fray very easily. Once you fold this petal, it's gonna start fraying like crazy. So I do a little bit added step. I put my petal back into the parchment paper, and I bring back this part a little bit, because, you know, you got the edge here, and I want this to be fused on that edge. So I just kind of bring that back a little bit, so that it'll get fused to it. You know, it is going this way, but that's what we want. We want a nice curvature on this leaf, okay? So here, I'm not gonna go as dark as the other one. I'm just gonna 1 and 2, and I just want it to fuse the edge. That's all I wanna do here. I don't, you know, I don't have 2 or 4 layers. I only have 1. So I'm starting to see it, but you know, it's best to do it on both sides. So, and away I go. Just to say that I'm touching this, so I get a fusion. So we're all good there. And that's it. We're good. We're all fused up. Okay, so then I take my other piece, and then I put it over here on this side, and I do the same thing. I bring my mesh back, and I attach it, okay? So, and then again, I use the corner, like the corner of my iron, and then I just, you know, bring that up. Whoops. We went a little too far, but that's okay. We can cut it off. Don't panic. It's all good. You know, you want to do the tip over here. And something happened just now. So really good idea for you guys to see this. All right. All right. This is good. So there's one side. Okay. That's fused really well. So look what happened here. Okay, you see this yet? Now, I've got a fray here, like that. See that? Can you guys see that? There's a fray here, right there. So all I'm gonna do take my scissors and I take this off. Okay, that's just a little thread. I'm just gonna cut that off. It's no longer part of it. It's like gone. And then all these little pieces here, this little piece right here, this was actually part of that thread and it just melted. Just cut that off. Now you got a nice even edge on both sides. There you go. And there's your petal, okay? So from here, okay, I've also, this is also on my pink wreath, okay? I've done this on the pink wreath. So I'll show you how to fold it. Oh, do you see how thick that is? I'm gonna cut this off because it's fused, but I just don't like the thickness of that. So I'm just gonna take some of that off a little bit. So, you know, you wanna make your petal nice and pretty. And look, I didn't fuse there, so I need to do that again. And what I'm doing is I'm kind of cheating. I'm using the side of my board here so I don't break my glass. So really and truly, it's working really well because it's a corner. So I'm just gonna put it down here for a second, and then I'm gonna fuse that just a wee bit, just to say it's in there. There we go. See my dark green? I stopped. Done. So I have, let's see, do I have another petal here I can show you? We'll just let that pull off. There you go. There we go. That's done. So, you know, I've got a little excess here, so I just take that off. And we're good. There we go. So now, when we want to fold it, this is a little wide for me. I don't like that. I'm going to take that off a bit. Be careful you don't take too much because you'll take your fuse apart. And then you have to fuse it again. So here we go. We just kind of go, I use this as my guide, the line, okay? And I just kind of match it to the height of it. And I go 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I tuck this underneath. And then again on this side. 1, 2, 3, and then I tuck that under. Manipulate that a little bit. Make it look like a leaf. And tie it off. There we go. I don't like this here a little bit. I'm going to cut some of this off. And if you happen to cut that a little bit, then it's okay. You go back and fuse again. So now it's ready for the wreath. All right, there you go. There's the petal. So here's what I do on the wreath. So I have this one ready already. So I turn this upside down. All right. So just tighten this up. So we got a good tighten, nice tight petal. And then I take it and here I've got it on each bar, and then I'm going to put it in this bar here with my zip tie, and that's okay. It's just getting it in there is a little bit tough, but try not to, you know, manipulate it too much or you're going to break your petal. Then you open up your petal a little bit and zip tie that down. And it's that simple, folks. It really is that simple. Okay? And here you go. Now you've got, you know, your petal. I'm just going to bring this up now. Oh, excuse my hand. But now you've got your petal. There you go. So I'm going to continue. I'm going to put them, you know, probably put one here, and one here, and over here. So my next video will be about the middle and finishing the back, okay? That's an important step, is finishing your back. It makes you look more professional. So that's that for now. I hope you enjoyed this video, and Please subscribe to my video so you'll be notified on the next one. Have a wonderful day.